How MatPat became TF2's most hated YouTuber for a few days. God, you do not want to go against the TF2 community. They are rabid.
Dedicated team for.
Dude, I remember that video where he was talking about like the Pyro's gender. Jeez, that's got to be like a 10-year-old video at this point.
Which is 2 videos, 2 of which being very controversial, and one of those, MatPat very recently called the video he regretted making the most. On May 11th, 2013, the first of these videos is uploaded, set to answer the question of whether Pyro was male or female. Since the game's inception, Pyro's gender...
I mean, sorry to break it to everyone, but the guy that voices the spy is the same guy that voices the Pyro, I think. So, yeah.
...has been one of its leading mysteries, with floral handbags and hidden symbols and Meet the Pyro pointing to them being a female, while being voice acted by a man, and being a man in concept art generally pointed to them being a male. And it doesn't help that decades of...
Oh, I remember MatPat's game theory video on this, and it was like, the cope was in the locker room at spawn, there was like a purse. That's right. Like a pink purse with a flower on it.
Documentation and official material uses both male and female pronouns interchangeably. MatPat sought to rectify this by using science and biometric data. One data point he looked at was the ratio of shoulder width to overall height, which according to MatPat, Pyro's ratio matched that of an average male exactly. Now, the numbers MatPat cited as averages seem to differ from what I can find. A 1960 survey of over 3,000 men done by the CDC put the average at just under 16 inches, and a 2009 study of 100 men in Sweden also posted similar findings. But even readjusting the numbers, the ratios still match up close enough to that of an average male, with a shoulder width of 90 pixels and a height of 400 pixels, giving us a ratio of 0.225. But the focus of the video and what people found most controversial was his use of finger lengths, citing the digit ratio theory, the idea that greater prenatal exposure to testosterone produces a greater height difference between your index and ring finger. Well, looks like I'm a woman. MatPat made the claim that the Pyro's lower 2D to 4D ratio is indicative of that of a heterosexual female or a homosexual male.
The Pyro is queer!
While some studies have found that homosexual males tend to have lower ratios than heterosexuals, other studies, as well as popular figures in the scientific community like Andrew Huberman, have said the opposite. And this is the issue with MatPat's use of the digit ratio theory. It's just too contentious of an idea to draw a conclusion out of it. And even if the data was 100%...
I mean, let's be real. The majority of, like, MatPat game theory videos were just reaching for views. Like, we've all done it. Like, every YouTuber's ddone that. You know, it's like when I've done a video saying the best game you've never played, it isn't the best game you've never played. It's just like it's a title to get attention and stuff.
Conclusive that gay male...
So, you know, it's obvious that, like, MatPat or his researchers would have seen that, like, the Pyro, people bring up, okay, it's the only character where you can't see their face. What's the gender?
Males do have lower ratios.
So they'd build an entire video based on that.
There is just one problem. The Pyro has gloves on. Many pairs of gloves out there have matching index and ring finger lengths. Even other TF2 gloves have them matching. MatPat concluded...
You're going to play No, I'm Not Human today? I got 3 of the endings, honestly. If I want to get the other endings, I have to just get really lucky with RNG, so probably not. Wait, because he's schizo, he's gay? What?
This 2011 University of Manitoba one do find that gay males show about twice the rate of schizophrenia. But fast forward 7 years to February of 2021, and this video sparked a small Twitter controversy, with a user making a thread of quote, shitty things that MatPat has done, going on to talk about how he...
You hear that, guys? If you're gay, you're insane.
...used insensitive language when describing the ambiguity...
Pyro viewers? Yeah, true.
...of Pyro's gender, as well as taking issue with MatPat's claim that gay males show increased rates of schizophrenia, but making no effort to cite evidence that would prove otherwise. But this drama was nothing compared to MatPat's other TF2 video. On August 18th, 2016, MatPat uploaded his take on the wildly popular TF2 vs Overwatch debate. To date, it is his most disliked video he has ever uploaded.
I'm surprised it's not one of his Undertale videos.
The most common criticism is best summed up by Muselk's comment. I am now 100% convinced that neither...
Oh god, Muselk, that's like old head.
...these guys have played TF2.
I remember that guy used to always do TF2 and then Overwatch before he moved over to Fortnite.
For more than 5 minutes. Even 12-year-old me didn't seem to like it very much, but one thing 12-year-old me would love is if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And now that you're subscribed, let's see what made their arguments so bad. and then 5 seconds
I remember when TF2 stopped being a paid game and it became free, and the amount of videos that were made, like if you were bad at the game, it's because you were poor.
later says that on top of being free, it doesn't have microtransactions unlike Overwatch. Well, he later course corrected and stated TF2 microtransactions weren't all loot boxes.
Is MatPat still doing the political angle? Did he ever do that?
This ignores the fact that TF2 still technically charges money for unlockable weapons, while all Overwatch microtransactions were purely cosmetic at the time. Okay, next up.
Oh,
MatPat's pretty zesty. He might have been projecting. I wouldn't say he's zesty. Just kind of like theater kid. Same as the guy that did the Coney 2012 video.
wow. Update? Oh, wait a minute. Team Fortress 2 updates multiple times a year with free content on top of the game.
MatPat then later commented on how Overwatch is better because it didn't have accessory accolades like dominations and kill death ratios, arguing that more support-oriented characters never get the same high of racking up a bunch of points or dominations. But if you have played in any lobby against an original gunboat soldier main
Notice the soldier getting one-hit kills every rocket, by the way.
with his girlfriend glued to him, you know this
Look at the kill feed, man. Look at the kill feed. Remove that class from the game.
just isn't true. MatPat cited Jeff Kaplan's dismay towards these kinds of in-game performance metrics, worried that they might detract from team play. The problem with using this to argue that Overwatch is better is that the games are just too different. TF2 is a more casually oriented 12v12 game where weak team play isn't an issue, while Overwatch was a 6v6 game designed with competitive in
It's not rent-free. The soldier's balanced. I laugh. I actually laugh at that comment. I laugh.
mind, making team
A rocket launcher that can fire 4 times before it needs to be reloaded.
play of utmost importance. This point also ignored the fact that Overwatch used to have the medal system, which caused the exact same kind of toxicity as scoreboards do. Todd would then bring up community servers, talking about how you could find your desired server, stick around until you've had your fill of the map being played, and then just hop off and find another. Nearly 2
I know he got crits, I know.
months after the Meet Your Match update was released and ruined this entire flow. Both of them would then
It's actually a pretty fun game.
try to
I might stream that at some point.
argue for quantity over quality while saying that they value quality, subsequently saying, quote, "There is no need for convoluted rocket jumping in Overwatch," but then 5 minutes later contradicts
How is rocket jumping convoluted? You just look down, press mouse 1 in space.
himself and says that Overwatch having a higher skill ceiling gives it an advantage over TF2. A couple other blatant but minor errors include Todd saying that Scout can equip the quote Dovahkiin helmet, saying TF2 has team deathmatch, and MatPat citing a 3% drop in TF2's player base as evidence that Overwatch siphoned players from TF2. Outside of YouTube, numerous posts were made on both the TF2 and Overwatch subreddits heavily criticizing the videos. It even got to the point where r/TF2 banned any discussion about it. Even to this day, a lot of the TF2 community holds some degree of disdain towards MatPat, as shown in the replies of this 2022 post,
Yeah, I feel the TF2 community, like if you wrong them, they will actually never forget that.
suggesting that MatPat should make another TF2 video to hopefully give the game a jab of life. Overall, this video was just one poorly researched disaster. It was clear that neither MatPat nor Todd knew anything about TF2. It was almost like they didn't even write the video.
We have
Which
so
theory
many-
do you regret the most?
Most of them are good. Even the bad ones, quote unquote bad ones, were valuable learning tools. So like very early on there was a persona theory and there was a persona theory and then there was like an episode of this show Deadlock that we did, which was not a proper game theory. And we did one TF2 versus Overwatch. Those were two that I basically entirely outsourced to some of the writers that we worked with or some of the third-party freelance writers, where I'm like, hey, I know a little bit about Overwatch and TF2, but I don't know a whole lot about, you know, those franchises.
Yeah, that's really dangerous. That's really dangerous. I get it was early days for him, but still. It's like, even if I hire people to help me write a main channel video, because some of them go upwards of like, 300 pages, I will still learn the game and verse myself in it to actually understand what's being talked about, okay, here's a good example. I had someone write a segment of me, of Fear and Hunger for me because I didn't have time. And then I read over their script and I actually saw that they missed out a lot of things that I knew about. And I was like, oh, this thing in Mahabre, or whatever it's called, the city in Fear and Hunger. I was like, you missed this detail. detail. You missed this interaction. You missed this choice that happened in the game. So like hiring writers, that's not an issue at all. I don't see an issue with that at all, especially if you've been doing YouTube for a very long time. But I feel like you should still know enough to then be able to be like, okay, this is good, or like, you know, because you need to know what you're talking about.
To the level that I would want to for these episodes.
Sure.
Thank you, Trash, for joining.
And people assured me up, down, left, right, and sideways that they're like, oh, we got it. And I'm like, okay, because at the end of the day, like, I'm the one on the...
How many hours did you end up having in Darkwood? I can check. Oh, 91 hours. Yeah. So even if I hire like a writer to help me, I'll still sweat the game obsessively because it has to be something that I care about, or just, you know, zero.
line.
It reflects on you.
It reflects, like, I'm the voice, and those were both super poorly received by the audience, just completely flat out, and lived on for many, many years to haunt me, right?
Given that this podcast was only released 3 months ago, a lot of people, including myself, had no idea of the true story behind the video. So to any aspiring content creators out there...
How many hours in Fear and Hunger? Probably nowhere near as much, I'll be honest. 38 hours. Yeah, because I think I got like most of the core endings, but I didn't do a run with every single individual character because it just took too much time to get every interaction and every... Because the plan we have at the minute with Fear and Hunger is we've got a set that's being built right now in Melbourne, and I'm going to dress up as all 4 of the characters, like the Mercenary, the Knight, the Outlander, Enki, forget his actual name, the Necromancer. But yeah, but obviously that includes doing a, like, you could play as like Enki, for example, this guy, and there might be no difference apart from like maybe a little bit of dialogue, like 4 hours in. And it's like, that wasn't time efficient for me to be able to do that. So
there, I would say just to take this as a lesson to try it yourself. Editing, thumbnails, and script
the S endings, no, we're including those.
writing may be intimidating
We're including everything. It's why the video's taking like a fucking year.
at first, but it's always worth it to do
Thank you, Holy, for the 22 months.
it yourself and learn the skills. And if you want to take some inspiration, subscribe and check out my other videos.
Dude, Griffith. I mean, that's basically Lagarde.